In this video, we are going to discuss one of the biggest rug pulls ever on Solana, the Balloonsville NFT. As usual, nothing in this video is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. The NFT space is incredibly risky, so always do your own research. Eats Bodega, tough weekend, huh?
Oh, to say the least. To say the least, it was a roller coaster of emotions, as many saw from my tweets yesterday, even when it was trading. And yeah, waking up today to a floor price of point 0.1 and the team saying that they rugged was not how I expected to start my Sunday. That's for sure.
So could you kind of walk us through this? So, Solana is a space for trading NFTs where rug pulls kind of come with the territory. I think that at one point you had told me you got rugged 2 or 3 times in one day. Can you kind of point out to the audience or just explain to the audience, what exactly in this context does a rug pull mean? And maybe we can try to understand why the people that made this project might have done something like this and just kind of the ins and outs of it.
Yeah, so just kind of with that too, it's like the way they did it, they've been building for like 3 weeks, got a lot of hype around the
Such a
project. They
long
were up to
time.
Yeah, crazy, right? Like it's wild too because there's other projects that are building for years and people are barely minting them out. So it just sucks to see. They got this like crazy organic hype, 5,000 collection, basically whitelisted everybody for the mint. I think it was like a 4,900 whitelist. So it was more or less creating all that hype. Um, one soul mint, so the team made like 5,000 soul, give or take. Secondary, they made about 600 soul. Yeah, so they made over $500,000 in about 3 weeks, a month maybe. It's
A
just
half a
crazy.
million?
Yeah, right around there. Sold at about $100, over 5,000 sold. So it's just crazy to see. I was really excited. I really like the art, obviously. It's crazy to see. They built up that hype, did this Discord stuff, actually teased a liquidity pool of about 4,000 soul, which would have been the biggest liquidity pool in Solana. So it just had a lot of people really, really excited. And yeah, it just sucks. Like, just to say the least, it just sucks. They teased second collection too, had people voting on what they wanted to do for next steps, how much liquidity they provide, when they release the houses, all this other stuff. So that's kind of the craziest part. They took the website down, said staking was going to be live in 3 days, so they didn't even have a site. So a lot of people were like actually okay with that. And yeah, now here we are. Everyone got rugged. It's crazy too because people are still buying this collection on Magic Eden, which I can't figure out why. And you can see Magic Eden actually did flag the collection already. So it looks like they're aware of the situation, but I'm waiting for Magic Eden's comment. Balloonsville came out with a series of tweets as well, basically targeting Magic Eden, saying like they didn't do any due diligence. They did none of their own research on the project, didn't make them docs, and here we are. So I think people are buying this FOMO, I guess, or FUD, I guess, praying that there's like a D rug, but I don't know. I want out of it. I'm down about 20 soul. You saw my tweet yesterday. Like I scaled some out at 3-4, made a second entry. I was in the project for about 40 total soul. So I was in deep, very deep. I'm a huge fan of the project, as everyone saw my tweets, and I was kind of shit posting too on Twitter about like, oh shit, it's going down. What are we gonna do? I'm holding. They came out with announcements, pumped the floor back up. Even like 2 hours ago this morning, the floor was 4 soul right before they rugged.
So help me understand, why would they rug? It's just because they're lazy? Is it they just didn't want to do any more work at all and were satisfied with the lump sum that they made off the primary sale and whatever negligible amount they made off of royalties afterwards?
I guess. Like I wish I knew more. I really wish I knew more. That's the toughest part. It's like you can get staking up in like 2 to 3 days. That's the crazy part. We've seen projects do it. That Defiant rug that happened a couple days ago, where they were just draining those liquidity pools. A bunch of those projects got their brand new staking up in 2 to 3 days. Brand new websites, staking on chain, like craziness. So this project easily could have done that, especially with the balance that they had, and it would have barely affected them. Even if they didn't provide 4,000 in the LP for Solana, like total, they provide 1,000, they provide 500. This project's still going to keep pumping. They would have made so much more too. So I can't figure it out. Their tweets too, saying things like they signed off Doodle Dragons team, stuff like that. It was like, what is their end goal? I guess it was to just rug. They even had the wildest part too was everyone thought this team was doxxed. They said that they were two 18-year-old kids. They had YouTube videos that came out. They even said too, like these people in those videos are paid actors. So it was like, what the hell is going on?
It almost sounds like it's a kind of statement or something like that. I mean, it sounds like kind of Criminal Mind type of stuff, just because, like, at the end of the day, a normal person doesn't do this. A normal person, like, goes and builds something. If you have the talent to put something together like this from a technical perspective and from a creative perspective and from a marketing perspective, I would think that a normal person would just work hard and actually like build something that's worthwhile. So it almost feels to me, based on some of the details that you shared, the way that they publicly announced the rug, the way that they pointed out that they, used paid actors. I mean, this is like a lot of effort, to go
A
and do
ton.
something that turns out to be a scam. And the way that they're kind of pointing fingers at Magic Eden, almost trying to prove a point. Was this on Magic Eden's launch pad?
Yeah, so that's the crazier part too.
Oh
This was
man.
totally Magic Eden Launchpad, whitelisted on Magic Eden. So that's the wildest part. Like they really everything basically tied back to, I guess you could say, Magic Eden. It's just dude,
So
it is
Magic
just
Eden,
fucked.
yeah, magic. So look, all right. There's a few different things we have to unpack here. When I hear that they were on Magic Eden's launch pad, I feel like at this point, Magic Eden probably needs to make a statement. They also probably need to implement some sort of KYC or something for the project creators, because at the end of the day, like, you can't have this happen, right? This is like a terrible rug. There has to be some sort of vetting that happens before someone's allowed to actually drop on Magic Eden. So that's one thing. But on the kind of project side, like, you know, like, why the hard rug and why not a slow rug? We've seen a lot of slow rugs in the NFT space. What is the benefit to the project of just, announcing the rug? It almost feels like the Joker and Batman, like, just wanting to watch the world burn.
Yeah, so that's kind of the big thing. I think it's exactly that. Like this team just wanted to give a big FU. They basically told everyone like you're idiots, you buy everything. Like you don't look into stuff, you don't actually do your own research. They even said that they tried to give IDs to Magic Eden and or Magic Eden didn't even ask for IDs. Like I don't know the full thing there. That's the tough part. It's just I really liked how these look too. That's the first part. Like I think this is actually for soul art, good art. Like
Yeah.
it just sucks. And yeah, it seems like it was just a big FU to Magic Eden, which is crazy. They did a bunch of stuff with that. The launch pad was crazy. They obviously had to have some communication with them. They launched a YouTube video right before mint talking about staking, next collections, and all this stuff. So they felt like they were doxxed. Like we saw them. It's just like people can see you and me. You feel like you almost know these people, which is crazy because it's also what helped kind of rip the secondary sales to go to like 12,000 soul. So they get 6% of that. Like the project had hype. There's so many ways that they could have kept us alive. And that's what I don't get at all. It's like, to your point too, Magic Eden needs to do something, in my opinion. They just, even a comment, like I want to know what they're thinking. I'm sure their play is much worse than even what I was getting this morning. And hey, I know people were pissed that I was tweeting about it. I want to call it out now. Like, never gotten paid for promo, sponsorship, any of that shit. Never done it. I just like the project. I'd been tweeting about the project for 2 weeks now about how I liked it. Got into Discord with like the first 1,000 people in it. Worked my ass off to get the whitelist type thing, and here we are. Like, just completely rugged. It sucks, and we've even seen a few other projects on Magic Eden Launchpad actually rug mid Launchpad for not selling out fast enough. Like they just delete their Twitter and Magic Eden's refunded them. This is like a whole new scale. Like they sold out. They sold out in minutes. The secondary volume was insane. They made it on the trending sales, like most volume for the 7 day period on day one, which is insane. And they were leading in the 24-hour collection by almost like a 3x.
It's crazy. And yeah, I mean, it's just so frustrating. And like, obviously I want to address anybody that is like, angry at Easy Eats for, thinking that this was going to be good. It's not like he got paid to promo it or something like that and then didn't buy it himself. He didn't get paid to promo it. He was just identifying it as a potentially good project. You bought in, right? You said you're down 40 soul.
I was in it for 42 soul total. I lost 20. I did even tweet like when I exited last night. Like I was watching volume on Solana Floor Pro and I saw more listings start kicking in. So I was like, hey, I'm scaling out here, like de-risking some of this. Kept half the bag, thinking that like the buys were still good. We saw it test under 3, push back up. Like from a trading perspective, the trade looked good. And like I said, even this morning, like if I had listed those and went to bed, last night, they probably would have sold and I would have been completely out. But like I like the project. So I got absolutely killed on it. I know a ton of other people did too. So it's wild. Like I wish I had more to say about it, but like I'm still kind of in shock about them just literally deleting everything. And like their thread was crazy too. Like they went in and basically were like, yeah, by the way, we're not taking any blame. Screw you, Magic Eden. You did this shit. Like, you let us do this. You let us get away with this. They denied providing identity. They had an American accent, denied providing any proof of concept in regards to their roadmap, and Magic Eden still let them launch.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, what I'm thinking is the balloon people are mentally ill because you're trying to like make a point at the expense of a bunch of participants in the NFT market. So you're like punishing participants, trying to make a point against a platform. There's way better ways to do that, way like more ethical ways to do that. So the creators of Balloonsville are for sure 100% mentally ill, criminal minded, like kind of sociopathic type of people. It goes without saying. Real quick, because I've kind of gotten a taste of this doing these shows with you, I just want to address the kind of broader Solana trading community. Is like sometimes people during our shows will write like really intense stuff in the comments, like I only had $100 to my name and I bought something because you said it would go up and now I'm out all my money, like go F yourself, like this really intense stuff. Like if that's your life situation, the last thing that you should be doing is effectively gambling it based on what one individual trader thinks is the right move, right? So like Easy has a background of trading for years in multiple different markets. You traded stocks, you traded a lot of different stuff. And I think that that's why he's able to perform so well in the Solana space, right? Last month's 5 SOL challenge going from 5 SOL to 40 SOL. Not everybody can do that. That's a skill set. That's not showing up to a roulette table and putting 5 on black or something like that. That's like really advanced and sophisticated participation in a market where there's, you're referring to metrics, you're doing research, you're taking action, and you're maneuvering in an advanced way. You should try to learn how to do that if you want to make money. That's like, you should be like, wow, I need to learn how to do that. Like that's what you should do. You shouldn't say Easy Eats, what do I buy with 1 SOL? Like that's not what you should do. You should develop a skill set. So I just wanted to like address that real quick. Because people literally write like super, super intense stuff in our chat. And I'm just like, I feel like you're missing what this is. You're watching analysis by people that, are participating in a market, and Easy Eats has wins, but he also has losses. He just got rugged on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So this wasn't a great day, right? So I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, no, it's exactly that. Like, and I said it in like one of the first videos we've ever done. Like, I feel like there's more rugs than sold because it's so easy to stand up a project and launch it. Like the contract is so low code, I guess you could call it, that people feel comfortable even doing it with very little software background. So it's just crazy. I'm like still in shock, like I said, and it's just mayhem to even see too. Like if we look at some of their tweets and some of the stuff that I had sent you on that,
yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah, it's like they even said all it took was a couple paid actors, and boom, we did it again. Y'all really believing anything nowadays? Magic Eden refund everyone we scammed because you're too stupid to ask for IDs, which could have easily shown we were a rug. And then they signed it off Doodled Dragons. And look at that, like 24K followers. They had the hype. Like that's a project on Sol. 24K is a ton on Solana.
Yeah, that feels like a lot. So this feels like a for an Ethereum equivalent, like the hype level of a Star Catchers or a Weather Report for sure, or maybe even an Invisible Friends to some capacity.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you don't see a ton. Like, Drippies is another big project, and I don't want to talk other projects even today, but that's one that's been building for like a year with like 30K followers now, and everyone's hyped about it. This project too, saying that they were whitelist only, basically got people to want to dive into the project and basically join the community. Like, they wanted to figure out how to get on that whitelist, how to be seen in that group, and how to mint one of these. The hype was insane. I mean, to be honest with you, I was surprised to see the price drop to like 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, which is crazy. Like, there's so many things that are just insane about this. It's just crazy. Like, I'm in shock looking at these tweets too. It just sucked to see because they were up for like 5-10 minutes. Um, and like you even see too, like they sent an announcement right before that,
Yeah,
blaming
about
Magic
hiring
Eden.
somebody.
Yeah, like it looked like they were just pushing their bags, pumping their bags. I do want to give a shout out to the Mindfolk team because they were looking at the transactions, and I've seen a bunch of people mention it. They actually called out that the central wallet that was Balloonsville was actually dumping the 100 pre-minted ones themselves. So some people got out on that news, like why is the project dumping their own bags? Then Balloonsville actually sent an announcement out and was like, we aren't dumping. Magic Eden has an escrow account. We give them some of the project. Like, I don't, there was so much BS that was going on with it too, that if I had seen some of it, I like to think I would have scaled out, but knowing myself, I probably would have ended up buying more, especially this morning, seeing them pumping at 4. It's, I don't know. Even this, like, all of these announcements too, red flags, denied ID. The American accent was interesting, I guess, because that's something that I guess is a good thing, a bad thing. I don't know. I mean, like, there's a ton of great international projects too. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's messy. The other thing too is like they said we denied providing any proof of concept in regards to the roadmap. They said that they had a token. They teased a second collection. Both of those things were like positive signs when it comes to a project that looks like they actually have plans. So I don't know. There's just yeah, there's a ton of just BS. And someone actually just sent me the message too. We aren't dumping. We told them we only wanted to pre-mint 100, and Magic Eden dumped 70 of them. So they blamed Magic Eden for dumping their own project when it was them. I don't know. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
like,
there's some weird, like mentally ill V for Vendetta type energy coming from Balloonsville, where the problem Balloonsville, you fucking asshole. Sorry to like, sorry to all of a sudden go off the rails here, but the problem, and you're probably watching this because you're like so amped right now that you went through a fucking rug like this. The problem is you punished the market participants. You didn't like you're framing it like you punished Magic Eden. Like you did this. It's not Magic Eden that did it, right? So, yeah, it's not cool for sure. I just want to pull up more of these petition for see like they're literally it's all framed against Magic Eden, but like you did this, Balloonsville. Like you did.
that's the worst part. Like, I can't, it's shocking to me that they're trying to be like, this is Magic Eden's fault because they supported the project. They just wanted their 5%. If this project went to any of the launch pads, Solana Monkey Business, Turtles, any other launchpad big name project that launches these, even like Monkey Labs, which is supposed to be like a custom contract project, they would have all happily hosted this. Monkey Labs reached out to Balloonsville and wanted to offer their contract for the launch before they said it was Magic Eden Launchpad. So it's like there was enough hype that nobody in the space even realized that this was that like kind of ruggy thing. Like I said too, like they posted multiple YouTube videos of them talking about the project, 2 different faces. They looked like 18-year-old kids, came out and said they were paid actors. So the level of thought that went into this, like this is just a blatant crime almost, like not even almost, like this is a blatant crime. They took $500,000 out of the ecosystem. Yeah, it's like it just pisses me off too because it's just crazy that something built for what felt like so long in the Solana space with actual deliverables moving forward, teasing everything, showing everything, only for them to be like, yeah, by the way, we're a previous team who's already rugged. See ya.
Well, it sounds like they'll be around again
Yeah.
because they're interested in doing this. You know, anybody that got rugged, it absolutely sucks. We'll see what happens from this. I mean, any other comments, Easy?
No, I think that's really it. Like, just wanted to hop on, highlight exactly what happened, just how insane this is. Like, I feel for everyone who got rugged. I got rugged. I just floored my last ones for like 0.2 to get anything back. So if you're buying these, I wouldn't be, to be honest. Like, there's no longer vision in the project. They have no actual goals, deliverables, any of that. I'm curious to see if somebody does try to derug this or something like that, but I don't have much, if any, hope. I'm going to personally be taking a much longer, harder look at projects and probably just trading a lot slower after this, at least for the foreseeable future, just because this is a huge blow. I know a lot of people are going to be really kind of, I don't even know what the word is at this point, like kind of hesitant to mint, like there's a lot of lack of trust on any project right now, especially with so many of these projects doing like whitelist only, small quantity. It almost makes more sense for the project in this case to kind of screw you because they don't have as much of a hand in the game. It's just crazy to see something that was this big sell out this fast, this much hype, all this following to kind of make this move. So I feel for everyone. I took a huge loss too. It sucks. and shit. I guess just one day at a time at this point, you know.
Yeah. And anybody that, you know, is trying to reach out on Twitter and stuff, like, this is not Easy's fault. So just cut him some slack. It's not a fun situation to be in. And sorry to anybody that got rugged on this. Terrible. So thanks for watching, everyone. We'll catch you guys next time.
Appreciate you.